is Carpenter Technology, who's located in Tanner. And this is Jackie Warner. And Jackie Warner has over 15 years of experience in human resources. She specializes in organization and employee development. She has a BA in communication from the University of North Alabama. And she has been a professional educator. She's a career development facilitator. She's a certified target selection administrator. I have a lot of titles. And a certified quality improvement associate. She's worked with various organizations in the United States, and she is currently the training coordinator and HR business partner at Carpenter Technology. She supports manufacturing operations with talent recruitment, development, and qualification. We welcome you, Jackie. Thank you for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you. Okay, how's everybody doing? Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. Thanks, Carolyn, so much for introducing me. I'm going to kick off first with just a short video so you get a taste of a little bit about Carpenter, and then I'll talk a little bit more in detail, more about what we do and also some of our core values.
We have the capabilities to make the best steel in the world.
The people behind the products here at Carpenter are phenomenal.
We make a high-quality product with high-quality people.
Everything we do here at Carpenter begins with people, and it's people that create the innovation.
From bottom level all the way up to top management, and everybody has a common goal of expanding.
We do make a quality product, and we do have quality people. That's how you get a quality product.
So many managers have come up through the ranks, and that also works out well with the co-workers because they gain respect for that person.
It's nice when everybody comes together, comes up with an answer that makes the customer happy, you get a great sense of satisfaction.
It's years of experience. The older people teach the newer people. We get a quality product, which I'm really proud of. I really am.
Competitors recognize our brand, our global customers recognize our brand. So when they see a Carpenter product, the reputation helps maintain our competitive edge.
The technology used on my job is state-of-the-art, hands down. We're not #1 in the world for no reason.
We can follow an order from the point of entry through production, through shipping, and all points in between.
What separates Carpenter from others in the industry is the commitment to reinvest in itself, to find ways to make the process better, more efficient.
We have our hands pretty much in everything.
Products we develop here end up in power generation,
Defense,
In the aerospace industry,
Gas and oil field work.
And automotive industries.
the United States Mint.
Surgical implant steel.
My grandfather actually has two artificial hips that were made here at Carpenter.
The steel that you produce here has gone in to help make those products.
we are innovative. We are world class.
We embrace change.
We can compete with anyone.
We have the passion to succeed.
We are Carpenter.
Okay, that just kind of give you a little bit of introduction about Carpenter. And I also wanted you to see that we are truly manufacturing. Okay, so all the individuals that are in the video there were our employees. Okay, and most of those are our employees at our corporate facility, which is in our main facility, which is in Reading, Pennsylvania. Okay, and our facility here in Athens, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about, we say Athens operations, but it's actually located in Tanner, just across the street from Calhoun Community College. We do have some of the employees from our Reading facility that have relocated to our new facility here in Athens. So just want to talk to you a little bit about Carpenter and share with you some different things that's going on with our company. So what do? Carpenter Technology develops and manufactures and distributes high-performance specialty alloys and engineered products to meet the challenges of advancing technologies. So as you see there on the screen, you see a lot of the different products that we actually produce. And our main goal for the facility here in Athens is going to be our high-performance specialty alloys. So we'll talk more about that as we go along. So some of our alloy families that we manufacture hundreds of grades in these alloy families. So if you'll take a look there, you can see some of the different grades, some of the different things that we do. stainless steels, medical implant alloys. And the facility here in Athens, we're mainly going to focus in on energy and aerospace customers. Customers such as Boeing, Pratt & Whitney, Rolls-Royce. Those are the main customers that we'll focus on here at the Athens operations facility. So I know you saw in the video, and then we share again, some of the global markets that we serve. Aerospace and defense, automotive and transportation, consumer products, energy, industrial, and medical. So let's talk a little bit about Carpenter's core values. Number one, when we're talking to our employees or candidates for employment, is safety. Safety is number one. We are a manufacturing facility, so everything that we touch may be hot, heavy, or sharp. Okay, so therefore, that's what we say to our employees. We definitely want you to be safe. We want you to come into work and leave as you came, so that way you can go home with your family without any type of injuries. So safety is number one, and then right along with safety is quality. Okay, we make a quality product because we actually do those specialty alloy metals that are high endurance metals that's going to go into that jet engine. So therefore, we have no opportunity for failure. Okay, it's got to be right every time. So quality and safety go hand in hand with us. Some of our other core values: loyalty, integrity, respect, dignity, work ethic. So those are the things that we're looking for as we are interviewing candidates that are coming in to interview for the positions that we have. So definitely in the way you interview, the way you answer your questions, that's important to us. We do, and I'll talk more about the interview process as we go along, but your resume is the start of your interview process with us. Okay, so keep that in mind. Your resume is the start of the process for interviewing with us. Because definitely when we're recruiting, we're looking at all of that. We're looking at your total makeup, and that starts with our first interaction with you. And that's when you post your resume and you apply online at Carpenter Technology. Okay? Collaborate, challenge, and drive continuous improvement culture. And that's what we are. We all work together. And this facility here in Athens, we actually started production, true production, in January of this year, 2014. And it has truly been a collaborative effort. When I hired on at Carpenter, I hired on, and I think there was about 30 of us. Now we have 160. So I've been there throughout the process of most of the recruitment and hiring of the majority of our employees that we have now. And we have probably about 50 plus contractors who will either be there as we continue to grow, or they will transition out if that position is no longer needed. Okay? And then we are going to hire about 50 more employees over the next 2 quarters. Okay? The next thing, team-oriented and performance-driven culture. Something to say about the team-oriented culture. Like I said, we're in startup, but everything we do requires everybody to be on target with safety and also with quality. So therefore, you have to work as a team. In order for us to put the product out, the quality product that we do, then everybody has to work together to make sure that that product goes to the customer. And again, failure is not an option. Okay? We develop people through ongoing training. That's truly been key for us. As being one of the training coordinators supporting manufacturing operations, that's one of my duties. That's one of my jobs. When I come in to the office and I work with my manufacturing supervisors and managers, my goal is to make sure that their team members obtain the training that's needed in order for them to do their job. Each team member has what's called a job qualification checklist that they have to complete for each particular role that they will have within their department. So my job is to make sure that we design the right job qualification list that actually provides the steps that that person can go through and then obtain training to be effective in their role. Okay? And then I oversee the actual training for those employees to make sure that they are ready to perform in that particular role. We have a very involved sign-off process so that when employees are in those different roles, that they make sure they're signed off appropriately before they're actually then certified in that role. So ongoing training is something that's very important to us at Carpenter. We strive to maintain a culture of openness. So as Ms. Veal, said earlier about having that open door policy, we do too, okay? Yes, you can talk to your supervisor, yes, you can talk to your department manager, but you can also come and talk to another supervisor or another department manager or human resources, which we'd love for you to come and talk to human resources. We're not the bad guy. We actually want to make sure that everything flows properly. All employees are empowered to make a difference, and that's so true. We have an environment where if you've got an idea, you got a suggestion, something that's going to help us with quality, safety, help us to be able to strategically place ourselves in the marketplace, bring it. Bring those ideas, because everybody within our company wants to make sure that we keep going stronger and stronger and stronger. So that requires us all to work together and collaborate and share those ideas. And then good corporate citizen. Carpenter does strive to do as much as they can within the community. They really push for all of us as employees to be involved within our community and to also be interactive with various projects that are going on in the community, because that's very important to us. We definitely support United Way and all of the different projects that they do here in the area. So that's a little bit about our core values. So earlier we talked about Carpenter's alloys are all around us, so just to share with you a little bit here, I'm not going to click on those videos, but just so that you can see, if you see here where these blue and yellow circles are, this is where our alloys are. So they're all around us. Okay, so we've got aerospace, automotive, energy, oil and gas, the subsea, top science. Then you also have drilling and completion. So those are some areas where our alloys actually are in those different markets. Also, if you look here at energy, power generation, gas turbines, and then also nuclear, and then medical. So we do have a lot of different areas markets that we serve, but there again, for the Athens operations, we will mainly serve our energy and aerospace. Okay. As far as where are we located, earlier I said that our U.S. or main headquarters is in Reading, Pennsylvania, but we do have sales departments all over, if you see there, and also some distribution and warehousing as well. So, and then you see our manufacturing facilities. Okay, Athens is the newest manufacturing facility that we have, but we also do have some growth expansion that's going on right now in Athens as well. We have another facility that's coming on board, and I'll talk about that briefly, just a few minutes. Okay, so talking about Athens. Like I said before, we started up with production this year in 2014. You'll see there, those are some pictures from our forge area, and we have the largest radio press in the world. Okay, so that's a picture of our radio press area here, and it's the largest in the world. And the capabilities for this facility, we're going to be able to produce 27,000 tons a year of this ultra premium alloys, which really this is some of the, I mean, really we do not, like say for instance, a lot of your steel companies that are here in the area, they're not competition for us. And they know they're not competition for us. They have their areas that they work in. Carpenter has the area that they work in, okay? And I know when Carpenter came on, and I know many of you probably know about Nucor, we have a good relationship with Nucor, okay? Our VP, the VP there, they've all worked together. They're not taking someone's employees from that company and moving them around. They're not doing that. We're not taking anybody from anywhere. What we do in our area, we respect each other in the steel industry, which is great, you know. So that makes for a really good environment within our economy here. So just to share that with you, different markets, but definitely respect each other in the market. Automated processes, quality systems, lean flow. I'll talk a little bit about our lean flow. One of the reasons for Carpenter coming to Athens was when they designed this new facility, they wanted what was called a lean process or a single piece flow. When the product starts or comes into our facility in Athens, it starts in one location and goes straight through, okay, to shipping. all right? So that single piece flow, so it's not going from one area, then has to turn around and go back to another area, and then over to another area. They wanted that so that they could reduce their lead times for the customers, and then they can go ahead and get that product out to the customer. And in Reading, the area there in Reading is somewhat landlocked. I mean, they bought everything around Reading that they could buy, okay? But as they've expanded, the different areas where they have all of the manufacturing processes going on, it's not a single piece flow. So you may be over here, then you may be over there, and then you may be back over here in another area. So therefore, that does not allow that product to just do that single piece flow and go straight through. So, of course, we're gonna have greater lead times, and so therefore, customers have to wait longer. But with this facility here, single piece flow, we start at one end, we're out the next end, okay? And they're trying to do all of that within a 4 to 6 week time frame. And then it's to the customer, which is great. And then we get more orders, which is great, okay? All right, that's just a little bit. I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about our financials in brief. And this is something that as you are researching companies and you're looking at, companies that you may be interested in, you definitely want to make an informed decision. So you want to look at the whole picture of that organization, okay? Financials included, all right? You want to find out more about their culture. You want to find out if this is a fit for me. But you also want to know about the company itself, okay? So here's just a few financials in brief. If you look here, Carpenter sales for fiscal year 2014 about our market. I know I've talked a lot about our markets, but you'll see there the different markets, all right? And then our next one is by our sales. So most of our sales is going to be here in the U.S., but we also have other areas as well. So you get a chance to just kind of see an overall look at where we are and where our sales come from. And then by our product class, okay? Who remembers what area we mainly would be in? Specialty alloys, okay? So a lot of our business comes from, and then also we'll have some of the stainless steel, all of that here in our Athens facility. And then we'll just talk a little bit about growth expansions within Carpenter. Reading purchased the adjoining former Dyna Corporation in 2012 for future growth. So like I said, anything that was available for purchase in our Reading facility, they have been buying up all of that property for our expansion. Because we definitely want to stay a strategic partner in our industry. And in order to do that, you've got to look at what you can do now to position yourself for your future growth. Then also China manufacturing. This fall, we've got a new mill in China, so that's another part of our growth. And then, as I said earlier, we do have another facility that's coming to our Athens location. It's our super alloys powder manufacturing. Now, we do have a division of powder manufacturing now within our corporation, but this is going to be a new facility. They're already working on construction right now. Where we're located across from Calhoun, Carpenter purchased the old Delphi buildings, okay? They purchased 2 of them, all right? Our office is in the one that's closest to our plant. How many of you have been by on Highway 31 and seen the facility?
I always wondered what that building was.
Okay, so Carpenter, the actual manufacturing facility it's got that red stripe going all the way around it. That's our manufacturing facility. Then across the street, right beside where Delphi was, we purchased that first building closest to our manufacturing operation. And then recently we purchased the next building beside it, okay? That last building that's closest to Calhoun across the street, now we do not have that building, but we do have the 2 closest to our manufacturing facility. Okay, so those are the 2 we have now. Right now, we've already remodeled and renovated that first one, and that's where our main administrative offices are, per se, right now. But also, there was this huge, big bay area, and that has now, is under construction for our new powders facility. Now, that powders facility, they've already started hiring, or recruiting right now. We're recruiting. This week, they're doing supervisor interviews for the supervisor for that facility. And then they will also bring on about 5 production/maintenance employees before the first of the year. So that is another facility that we will have within Carpenter. And so far so good. Everything's going well with the construction of that facility. And then with the main facility that we have for the specialty alloys, that's our SAO division that we have 160 employees, and I think I might have mentioned that before. But what we do have with those employees is our manufacturing production employees, maintenance. We also have planning and business operations. We have our human resources staff, and then we also have our financial staff as well. So there's various positions within Carpenter if you are interested. And then we also have engineering, and then the other one would be our metallurgists. So those are some different areas that we have within Carpenter. So how do you apply? You go on our website, cartech.com. When you go out there on the website, do some research. There's a lot of great stuff that's out there that you can take a look at to find out more about our organization. So much to learn. And then one thing I do also want to mention, although you may be interested in our Athens facility or may not be interested in our Athens facility, we have several employees, like I said, that came from our Reading facility that have now become residents of our area. Okay, so, and then we have some of our employees that are working here actually are going to jobs in other locations throughout Carpenter. So it is easy to move around within Carpenter if you so desire. So great opportunities. Once my children are grown, I may want to move somewhere else too, but for right now, I'm right here. Okay? Any questions about anything before I talk about our interview process?
I got a question. Your metals, that new metal building you're building with the powdered metal, is that dealing with the lithium products, building lithium batteries and stuff like that for vehicles?
I'm not sure. I would not be able to answer that question for you. I'm not sure about that. But I definitely would encourage you to go on our website. And there's a lot of information out there about our Powder's facility. Yes, sir.
Carpenter, do they look for anybody like in IT or like
Yes.
software?
Yes, all the positions, I would say all the positions within your business we're going to have. We actually have, right now, we have 3, we have a manager, an IT manager, and we have 3 employees in our information technology department. You may be familiar with this if IT is your background. We have a tier 1 group that is not centrally located at our Athens facility, but it's for our corporate headquarters. So wherever you are, you call this number, and then they will assist you. Now, if that problem cannot be resolved at that particular level, then it's moved up to the next level, which would be our on-site information technology reps. So yes, we do. And then we also have probably about 3 or 4 who are contractors. So with us being in a startup operations, we did have to bring on more to assist us with startup and make sure we have everything in place that needs to be in place from a technology standpoint. And then as we move forward, either they will remain or some will then, those positions will not be needed. But for right now, we've got 4 that are actually full-time hired on at Carpenter. And a lot of subject matter experts from our Reading facility that have been on site. Yes, sir.
You hire through AIDT?
For production, for production. Now, we have different processes depending on the role that you're in. Now, cartech.com, that's where you can go to look at any positions that we have open. But if you are interested in a manufacturing production position, you would go to aidt.edu. aidt.edu. Now, that's the first stop that you're going to make, and you're going to fill out a brief application there. And once you do that, then if you are selected for the next process, then you will receive some type of communication. Most likely it's going to be a letter in the mail and an email that asks you to go on our website, because we will open up a job requisition on our website for production for those that we have invited to the next phase within production.
Is maintenance technicians involved?
on AIDT?
No. Maintenance technicians, you could actually apply on our website. The only ones that actually apply for anything on AIDT would be your production technicians. That's our start. Because AIDT is really, I don't know how familiar you are with AIDT, but they work with new companies coming into the area to assist them as they start up their facilities. And so therefore, AIDT has been great for us. They've helped us a lot, worked with us, and that's one of the services they provide is to assist with your screening, your applicant screening process.
About a year and a half ago, I interviewed, phone interview with Carpenter for a maintenance job. And
Okay,
they said that AIDT would call me.
okay. Well,
And I didn't know this because I was a Tennessee resident. They never called.
well, I may not have been hired on when you interviewed then. I'm
It
not
was
sure.
in America that interviewed me.
Okay then. Well then, and I can talk about the maintenance process as well. It's different. Each process is different within Carpenter, okay? Production starts with AIDT. You may see a position on AIDT for maintenance, but when you click on it, it's gonna take you straight here to cartech.com, and that's where you would apply. Any other questions, and then I'll talk about all the processes of interviewing. Yes, ma'am?
Do y'all have internships like HR interns?
We do have, and what we do is, if we have a position that we are interested, an intern position available, we will contact, Ms. Mitchell, and then she will then contact whoever has made application via the Career Center, and she'll contact them based on your skill sets and based on the requirements that are set forth. We actually have had 2 interns from Athens State to work with us at Carpenter. And hopefully we'll get some more.
Do you ever pick up management in internship positions?
No, we have not had any management intern positions. Now, depending upon your role, now say, okay, are you saying as a manager or as
Well, like,
working in?
I'm doing management technology.
Okay, yes,
That's
yes,
my degree.
yes, whatever your area is, what we're gonna do is make sure that you get an opportunity to get that work experience in that particular area. Okay, well, I'll talk a little bit more about our processes. For production, as I said before, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go to AIDT and apply first there. And what we do is we look at all those applications. We probably have right now probably about 6,000 for production, okay? And we probably went through about 3,000. So it's a long process for production. I kid you not. We do have a lot of capable, qualified individuals who are interested in those positions. And it is a long process, but let's say you do get selected, okay? And then you're asked to apply on our Cartech website. You apply on our Cartech website, you're also asked to take what's called the Work Keys assessment, okay? And that's something we do. We have a partnership with Calhoun. You have 3 different assessments that you would take. You will also take a computer assessment. Every job at Carpenter requires you to have some type of computer skills. So it's a computer literacy assessment that you will take. And then, if you are invited to the next phase, you will go through a 3-week, maybe a little longer, but most likely it's going to be a 3-week course that you'll take through AIDT and Carpenter, and it's at night. You'll go 2 nights a week, and you will interact with our supervisors, our management team, our HR group, and some of our team members, okay? So it's like a 3-week interview that you go through, okay? And at the end of those 3 weeks, then you will be given an opportunity to interview with our management team for the positions in production. So it is a very long process that you go through in order to become one of our production technicians, okay? But again, safety and quality of our product is key. And our manufacturing production team are the ones that touch that product. So we definitely want to make sure those skill sets are right and that it is a right fit for you in that role. In production, you're in your personal protective equipment, you're in your safety boots, you're in your hard hat. I guess I should have worn mine today, because I wear it a lot, okay? I don't get to dress up like this. I tell Sarah, I don't get to dress up like this often, but I do I have to go to the manufacturing floor quite a bit. And so therefore, I'm out there and I need to know what our team members are doing so I can better serve them, okay? That's our production process. Maintenance, a little bit different. Industrial maintenance, what they will do is they go through the interview process, the telephone screen after we receive their resume, and then they do a telephone screen with their supervisors. And if the supervisor so desire and say, yes, they're ready for the next level, or we would like to invite them to the next level, then they go for a 1-day, 8-hour maintenance hands-on assessment. Okay? And after that maintenance hands-on assessment and a computer literacy assessment, we review those scores and we decide who we're going to bring on site for an on-site interview. Okay? If they then make it through the on-site interview and the supervisors decide, then they will offer them employment with our organization. They will definitely have to meet those contingencies of a background check and also a physical. So those are important. Those are some conditions that we have. So they do have to pass the physical and also their background check prior to being hired on. Now, all other positions, you go straight to cartech.com, whether it's IT, HR, salary, any salary positions, engineering, planning. We have chemists, so we have a lab, because we do have to look at all of the different properties of the materials that we are manufacturing. So we do have a lab, we have lab technicians as well. So any of those positions, you would just go straight to our website. And typically what happens is you have a resume and application screening. The next thing you would have is a telephone screen with our recruiter and or the supervisor for that position. And then if they decide that they want you to go through the next phase, then you would come on site for an on-site interview. And when you come on site for our on-site interviews, they're panels. They are panel interviews, and you meet with at least 3 to 4 people in your panel interviews, okay? You may have 2 panel interviews, you may have 1. It just depends upon that particular position, okay? And then some positions do require even additional computer assessments as well, depending on your role. And then after all of that, if the opportunity is there, then they will offer you employment. So we do have quite a bit of a long process, but definitely want to make sure that we pick the right person, and we want that person to make sure that they are picking the right company as well. So we definitely want to make an informed decision. Yes.
Yes, I guess Jackie, as we sort of wrap up today, can you share 1 or 2 tips about resumes that you feel are important to Carpenter when you screen? You talked about that screening process. And maybe 1 or 2 tips on interviewing, that would be great.
Okay. As far as your resume goes, one of the main things that you definitely want to do is you want to look at your personal skill set and how it aligns with any position that you are actually applying for. Because that's what we're looking at. When you're creating your resume, not every resume, and I'm sure you've heard this plenty of times, you do not want to use the same resume for every job that you apply for. You need to make sure that you're matching your skill sets to that particular position if those are your skills. If not, of course, you don't want to put that down, and you probably may not even want to apply for that position. Some people think that I'm just going to keep applying and applying and applying, and I do not even align my skill sets to that particular position. Your resume is not going to get looked at. We're going to be like, why did they even apply? Okay? Because it's not going to help you. And if we see it continuously that same resume that does not have anything that aligns with what we are actually looking for, your name is not going to be on our radar to actually even want to bring in, because you're not doing your homework. Again, remember what I said earlier, our recruitment starts with your first interaction with us, which is your resume and your application. So very important that you be sure that you align what your skill sets are with any positions that are out there that's available. And then some things that we see, we have individuals that we know would be a great fit for that position, but they don't put enough down. They don't put enough information down. They don't elaborate on some of those key areas that we really need to know about. Okay? So that's important that you take time to truly look at that job description and then align and match your skill sets to that, and then share that within your resume. Not every resume should be sent in for the same job. And then as far as interviewing, some of the things that like I said before, it's a panel. And most of our questions are gonna be behavior-based questions. Tell me about a time when you had a conflict with an employee on your team, and there was a project that needed to be completed by the end of that particular week or something. And then how did you handle that conflict? What did you do? Our questions are mainly gonna be like that. They're gonna be behavioral-based. We're looking for you to share with us about you, not about your coworkers, but about you and how you handled that situation. What was the situation? What were your actions? What was the result from that particular situation? Okay? So behavior-based questions. What we've seen in some of our interviews is that we'll ask questions and we just get these short answers. 1 word, 2 words, and that's it. Okay? That's it. And then that team is sitting there waiting because they want to make sure they're making the right decision. And so therefore, we need you to share with us, who are we talking to? So did that help? And one other thing to keep in mind, and I did see you, sir. One other thing to keep in mind with your interviews, you may not necessarily be going for a CEO position, but you need to dress the part. Okay? Do your homework about the company, okay? As Ms. Bill was saying about not just going on the internet and looking at our company, do your homework, do your research, okay? And make sure it's a good fit for you prior to you just saying, hey, it's a job I'm just gonna interview for and hope I get it, okay? Make sure it's truly a good fit for you and come prepared with several questions. That's important that you do that.
Regarding the behavioral interview questions, when you ask if there is a conflict, can you tell about a time that there was a conflict with a previous employer? What if there really wasn't any dramatic conflict? I mean, what conflict are you looking for as an answer? Because, I mean, I've worked a lot of customer service jobs, and so, I mean, I don't really have conflicts with my fellow employees. I mean, that's not the point. You want to work together as a team. So what conflict are you referring to when you ask that? What's the typical answer you're expecting to hear back outside of the 1 and 2 word responses that you've received?
Well, and I just use that as an example of the conflict one, but you definitely want to draw from your personal experiences. It may not have been a situation at work. It may have been a situation within a personal experience that you had maybe with a club that you're involved in, or some other type of, it could have been a conflict with you if you have, a sibling, something of that nature. But you want to draw from your personal experience for that particular question.
Basically to show that you've come to some kind of resolution that works for the greater good of everybody.
Depending on the situation.
Depending on
how did you handle it? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So that answered it for you? Okay. All right. Okay.
Any other questions for John?
Well,
We can take one more.